Hi everybody, I'm back again with these little cream and sugar sets, and this is one of the ones I really like. This one, and I'm going to show you how to fix. So here's the little cutie pie, as I referred to in another video. I'm going to show you what I do to clean these up to get them ready for going home with someone. And because of this speckled clay, sometimes hear that. Sometimes that doesn't. It's not as smooth as it could be, and so I'm going to fix the little lids. This one is fitting pretty tight, and it can be fixed just by sanding it down a bit or grinding it down, as I'm going to show you. You could probably use sandpaper on that on certain spots, but in the groove where the gallery is, get my picture back here. In the groove, it's hard to get sandpaper in that little gallery, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Also, in this video, I want to show you these. Let me move you over here. I'm going to show you these flower frogs, but we'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to show you how I'm using those and what you can do if you get some little short flowers, and how to stick them into the thing and keep them alive for a while. So on one of these sugars, or just about anything that has a lid, take some valve grinding compound. Now, I don't care what brand it is. This happens to be Permatex, but it's valve grinding compound. You get it at the auto parts store, and I am going to use that on here. So I'm going to poke a hole in it with that thing on the end. Whoa, it came out. So it's kind of black, and it rinses off, so don't worry. So that's what I do. I get it in there. It's not going to hurt your pot. It won't hurt your hands. It isn't toxic or anything. I wouldn't eat it, but it's not good for consuming, so keep it away from kiddos and animals. So, as you can see, I have put a generous amount around there. So, I'm going to scoot these out of the way while I do this, because I don't want to break anything. But I'm going to gently turn that around. And the noise might bother you. I hope it doesn't. But now be careful if you have a little delicate handle on something, that you don't force it and break your handle off. So I'm very gently and very carefully just grinding that around. It seems to get stuck in a particular spot, and I'm going to tilt the lid a little bit so that I can dig it into this side where there's quite a bit of that grinding paste, and just take off some of those little specks. This lid was pretty tight when I made it, and so there, that's turning better. You have to be patient with this. I knew it was going to be tight, so that's the reason I was very careful not to leave any glaze along that edge. So I'm going to dig it in. So I'm not seating it all the way down there for this part. I'm tilting it a little bit, as you can see. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me look in the thing. So I'm tilting it up on this side, and I'm digging it in over here. It is possible that the section, it's possible that this got out around, or this got out, the lid or the gallery. Now see how easily that's turning. So let's do some more on this side. And then let's take the side of it and do the same thing. And I'm rotating this just to make sure that I'm kind of getting it as evenly spread as I can. That's creating a suction, so it's hard to get that off. Okay, see, I'm tilting it up. Now I'm going to do something I never have done before. Let's see here. And I'm going to see if this will work, because that is kind of taking a while to get this down. And it would eventually grind down. But I'm going to take a little piece of sandpaper and speed the process up and possibly save my little handle over there and do this on the inside. Boy, that grinding paste really makes the sandpaper slide easily, but it doesn't take away from the grit. And I can already feel that it's getting smooth. Okay. So I can take this, and I think there's a little bit of problem here where it's out of round. Get another spot on here. Just get the whole thing. So mostly I'm just doing the edge. I'm not disturbing the glaze on there at all. This is kind of messy, but you'll see in a minute. I'll rinse it off and it'll be beautiful. So let's kind of get that back in there. Put a little dab here and there. Smear it around a bit. Oh yeah, that fits a lot better. Okay, I'm gonna rinse this off and show you what it looks like without the Sorry, I can't talk and do this at the same time. Just to fill the space. Okay, I'm going to rinse it off and we'll see what it looks like. Beautiful. that fits in there perfectly. It might do with a little more grinding, but I'm not going to waste your time to do that. But you can see it's turning quite well and easily. Whoops. There's just one little place. Probably just a little more of that friction is going to do it, or I might be able to take some sandpaper and go around here some more. Seemed to be just one little spot that it was hanging up. That's that. And the lid fits so well that it's creating a section in there. Oh, that couldn't be better. Yeah, that goes all the way around now, and it's perfect. I don't think people are going to be, you know, whoever this goes home with, they're probably not going to be sitting there twirling that. But I want them to be able to set the lid in there and have a really nice fit. Because when moisture gets into sugar, it sort of makes it have clumps. Some people don't like that. Okay, so I'm going to set that right there. This little guy seems to be just fine. No need for anything but maybe to smooth off with sandpaper the bottom to make sure some of those little specks in that clay don't scar a table or anything. Now on this, remember this is my little cutie pie, and this is the one that I built differently from just a regular pitcher. It's got a rim around here that you can put a lid on and seal it up so that when you put it in the refrigerator, it doesn't absorb smells from the other things that are in the fridge. You can still pour. I'll even show you. You can still pour from this. Get some up here. And then when you stop, if there's any cream left, it's going to fall into this little trench around here at the top. Little gallery, I should say, probably. It's probably a better word. So to fix that one, let me get you. To fix this one, I'm just going to put a little bit of this paste around here in spots. I'm not making it real solid because this thing isn't all that big. Now smear it around a little bit. So this will work on the body of it. It'll work on this part, and it'll work on this part at the same time. Oh, that feels nice. Okay. So I'm going to rinse that off. It's still wet, but well, that even sounds better, and it's going to make a tighter seal on there. And that'll work better. And I'm going to do the same thing with the sugar. Put a little bit of this on. you know, I could probably squirt some of that stuff out on my finger and just do it like that. I just think these are the cutest little sugar and cream sets. They're decorative, but they're also very practical, especially since this one, you can store the cream in here. And as you can see, you know, my fist, I'm kind of an average size person, and this is a little smaller than my fist. So these are, I don't know, I don't have a ruler here, but they're probably about 4 inches tall, including the little thing on top of this. And then this is very smooth on the bottom. Let me do this one. And my sandpaper is kind of a medium, I think. It is not fine. Just the medium works well for this. And that sandpaper's history. But there you go. So this bottom is nice and smooth. You should always feel of the bottom of your pots before they go home with anybody, so that, you know, they're happy with it as soon as they get home and set it on something. It doesn't ruin it. And over here, let me wipe my little mess up. Put the lid on your stuff. And it helps to rinse out that part so that you don't get it on anything in the studio. There, I made it all nice and clean again right there. Okay, let's move over here, since we're dealing with water a little bit on these things today. Dry my hands off. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I put these, so here are the 3 flower frogs right here. And they really turned out well. I'm really happy with them. Now this one is the one that has the rim around here. So it fits really well in something like this, where it doesn't slide off. So you can put it on that's one of those little, you know, punch type things. I don't know, it seems they have at parties and throwaway stuff. So this fits on here real well, and it also has that ridge where it's going to keep things from falling off. Not a real good fit on the top part of it, but it works. Now this glass, it's exactly the same size, so that doesn't work as well. It would work on a coffee cup like this, or it would work on one of these big giant cups, like these big mugs that you buy, and so forth. This mug, this is funny. When you pour something hot in this mug, you get a beam of light that comes down from this spaceship. You can't, so the beam of light right now is real black, and when you have hot beverage in there, the beam turns neon, kind of yellow, looks like spooky alien stuff. This flower frog has the little pegs on the back, and it can go on something like this. It's not as stable as the others, I don't think. But, you know, so here it is on the mug. And it might survive on something. Keep in mind what kind you're making. This one I think might be my favorite because it just has a raised part and it's solidly raised. There's the profile of it. And it fits in this glass, so it's not going to slide off if you know how little kids are. They want to see things and they grab stuff without warning. And so there's that one. And that's how they're used. So I think you get the idea. You probably don't need a whole lot of instruction for these. That was a joke. But they did turn out well. And for whatever you're going to use yours in, you might want to consider the way you're going to make it. So our choices are, I'll put these out. So here are our choices of how to do it. You've got the pegs up here. You've got the wide ridge with a recessed inside, and then this one has the raised solid. So there's a side view of that one and a side view there and side view on that one. Cool? Okay. Oh, here's something too. You know, we were talking about how little kids pick flowers and they don't leave you very much stem to put them in anything. So this is just a little, I don't know what it is, something to hold tea bags when you're finished with them. But you could put a little water in there since it's fairly shallow. And you can stick a flower in there that doesn't have much of a stem. And you could almost float it in there and still preserve it for a day or two maybe. It makes the kids happy. All right. Well, I am going to, today my goal is to glaze these cream and sugar sets. These two right here. This one's made basically on the same principle as the little cutie pie, only I made these a little larger. So I'll be glazing those, and I'm going to redo this because it's got some goofy little spots here. This might be reclaimed clay, and there may be some kind of weird thing going on. This one had it too, and these were made at the same time with the same clay. And see, it's got a little spot there where the glaze just didn't want to stick. So I'm going to sand that area, grind it down just a bit, and put some hairspray on it and see what I can do to make the glaze stick. If you want to know more about the use of the hairspray, I will be, or actually, I think I made a whole video on how to redo or do a do-over. And so if you search that, you'll probably be able to find that in the Broken Arrow Pottery channel, so you can see how I use the hairspray. But hairspray has gum arabic in it, and so it's basically the same thing that they use in glaze to make it stick, and so this just helps it along. And here's one of my favorite dishes. I don't know why this is over here, but anyway, may need some work or some sanding or something. So, all right, well, I'll close this video, and thank you for watching, and please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Take care. Love you. Bye-bye.